Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Friday, April 6, 2018. Today I'm going to recap Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, National Basketball Association, and look ahead to all the games for tonight, what's going on in the Masters, the Patriots make a move, and the big name closer on the disabled list. All right, yesterday in the Major Leagues, the Mets defeated the Nationals 8-2 to improve to 5-1. The Nationals dropped to 4-3. Jacob deGrom with the win. Steven Strasburg with the loss. Bottom of the first inning, though, the Nationals scored first on an RBI single by Anthony Rendon, which scored Adam Eaton off the error by Jay Bruce. Speaking of Bruce, in the top of the second, he scored on a balk by Steven Strasburg, as it sent Kevin Plawecki to second to make it 1-1. Bottom of the third, Anthony Rendon RBI double 2-1 Nats. Top of the fourth, Yoenis Cespedes ties it up at 2 apiece with a solo shot. Top of the fifth, welcome back Michael Conforto, home run to left, a 2-run shot to make it 4-2. And in the top of the seventh, Jay Bruce with the grand slam to make it an 8-2 final. Jacob deGrom, 6 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 1.54 ERA. Steven Strasburg, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.65 ERA. The Red Sox defeated the Rays 3-2 in 12 innings. The Rays had a 2-0 lead going into the bottom of the ninth. The Red Sox rallied in the ninth and then won it in the 12th. The winning pitcher, Bobby Pointer of the Red Sox. The losing pitcher, Andrew Kitteridge of Tampa Bay. Top of the eighth, though, was where the scoring got started by the Rays on a home run by Matt Duffy, 2-0. Bottom of the ninth, here come the Red Sox. Hanley Ramirez, RBI single, 2-1. Bottom of the ninth as well, RBI double, Xander Bogaerts, 2-2. Bottom of the 12th, the game-winning single by Hanley Ramirez gives the Red Sox the win. Yanni Chirinos in his big league debut, 5 innings, 3 hits, and 4 strikeouts. Not his big league debut, but his starting debut. Leaves the game with a 0 ERA. That was a nice game for him. David Price has been very good for Boston so far. 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Still has a 0 ERA as the Red Sox improved to 6-1, and Tampa is now 1-6. The Phillies defeated the Marlins 5-0 in their home opener and improved to 2-4. The Marlins dropped to 2-5. Gabe Kapler booed in the home opener, mainly due to managerial mistakes he made in the Atlanta series as well as the Mets series. The win, Nick Pivetta. The loss, Caleb Smith. Bottom of the first, that got going with a RBI single that scored in 2 by Maikel Franco. And in the bottom of the third, Abdul Herrera RBI single, 3-0 Phils. And then in the bottom of the seventh, Maikel Franco, 2-run shot, 5-0 is your final. Caleb Smith only went 3 innings for the Marlins with 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.32 ERA. Nick Pivetta of Philadelphia, 5 2/3, 4 hits, and 9 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.79 ERA. Impressive start by Pivetta. The Rangers defeated the Athletics 6-3 to improve to 3-5. Oakland drops to 3-5. Martin Perez with the win. Daniel Megden with the loss. Keone Kela with the save. Top of the second, infield single, Rodon Odor, 1-0 Rangers. Top of the second, 2-run single on a sacrifice infield choice to the pitcher by Ryan Rua. Maraza and Odor scored on the throwing error by Daniel Megden, and that's how it got the 3-0. Also in the top of the second, RBI single, Drew Robinson to make it 4-0. Bottom of the third, here comes Oakland. RBI double, Jed Lowry makes it 4-1. Bottom of the third, Chris Davis sacrifice fly makes it 4-2. Bottom of the sixth, sacrifice fly, Matt Joyce makes it 4-3. And the top of the ninth, the dagger of the game, a home run by Sin-Soo Choo, a 2-run shot to make it 6-3, and that was your final. I mentioned Martin Perez before. He went 5 1/3, 10 hits though, 3 earned runs, and a strikeout. Leaves the game with a 5.06 ERA. Daniel Megden, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 6.55 ERA. The Rockies defeated the Padres 3-1 to improve to 4-3. The Padres dropped to 1-6. Adam Ottavino with the win. Brad Hand with another loss and blown save. And Wade Davis with the save. The only scoring came in the ninth inning. Brad Hand walked Ryan McMahon with the bases loaded to score in Trevor Story. That made it 1-0. And then a 2-run single by DJ LeMahieu put Colorado up 3-0. And in the bottom of the ninth, a home run by Manuel Margot to make it 3-1. And I mentioned it was a blown save. It was not a blown save. It was a blown opportunity. Tyler Anderson of the Rockies, 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, leads the game with a 7.56 ERA. Joey Lucchesi of the Padres, 5 innings, a hit, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 2.79 ERA. The Tigers feed the White Sox 9-7 in 10 innings. As the Tigers improve to 2-4, Chicago drops to 3-3. The win, Joe Jimenez. The loss, Gregory Infante. The save, Shane Green. Bottom of the first, RBI triple by Yonder Sanchez, make it 2-0 Sox. Top of the second, Leonis Martin, RBI single, make it 2-1. Bottom of the second, Adam Engel, sacrifice fly, 3-0 White Sox. Also in the bottom of the third, RBI single by Leury Garcia, make it 4-1. Top of the fourth, Dixon Machado, RBI double, makes it 4-2. Top of the fifth, Victor Martinez, RBI single, makes it 4-3. Bottom of the fifth, Matt Davidson with the RBI double to make it 5-3. Also in the bottom of the fifth, a RBI triple by Yonder Sanchez to make it 6-3. Bottom of the seventh, Leury Garcia, RBI double, 7-3 Sox. Top of the eighth, sacrifice fly, Mickey Matok to make it 7-4. Top of the ninth, a home run by Nico Goodrum to make it 7-6. Also in the top of the ninth inning, the game-tying RBI double by Victor Martinez to tie it up at 7 apiece. Top of the 10th, RBI ground out. Leonis Martin makes it 8-7. And then an RBI single by Hamir Candelario. And that is your final. I did predict in this game a shootout with Jordan Zimmerman and James Shields on the mound. Zimmerman, 4 1/3, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts, leaves the game with 8.71 ERA. Shields, 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout, leaves the game with a 5.73 ERA. The Twins defeated the Mariners 4-2 in their home opener to improve to 4-2. Seattle drops to 3-3. Zach Duke with the win. Dan Altavia with the loss. Fernando Rodney with the save. Seattle got it going in the top of the first, RBI ground out. Mitch Haniger, 1-0 Mariners. Top of the first, RBI single, Dan Vogelbach, 2-0 Mariners. Bottom of the sixth, game tying, 2-run home run. Miguel Sano, 2 apiece. Go ahead home run in the bottom of the seventh on a shot by Mitch Garver to make it 3-2 Twins. In the bottom of the eighth, Eddie Rosario, homer to make it 4-2 final. James Paxton, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts with a 7.45 ERA. Fun fact about Paxton in this game, during the national anthem, a bald eagle landed on Paxton, and Paxton just stood there and literally did nothing and did not jump or nothing. And I think it's a good thing that he stood there, because if he made a jump, maybe he gets hurt or something. And meanwhile, for the Twins, Kyle Gibson, 4 1/3, 7 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts, leaves the game with a .87 ERA. The Pirates defeated the Reds 5-2 to improve to 5-1. Cincinnati drops to 1-4. Stephen Brault with the win. Homer Bailey with the loss. Felipe Rivera with the save. Top of the first, Tucker Barnhart, bases loaded walk. I'm sorry, it was just a walk. And Scooter Gennett scored on a wild pitch, 1-0 Reds. That's all they did until later on in the game. But in the bottom of the third, sacrifice fly, ties it up at 1 apiece. That was Gregory Polanco. And speaking of Polanco, he had a 2-run home run in the bottom of the fifth to give the Pirates the lead. Bottom of the fifth as well, RBI triple by Corey Dickerson makes it 4-1. Also in the bottom of the fifth, Francisco Cervelli safe out the error on first base by Jose Peraza, as Corey Dickerson scored there. And in the top of the eighth, Adam Duvall, first of the year, makes it a 5-2 final as the Pirates improve to 5-1. The Orioles beat the Yankees 5-2 at Yankee Stadium as the Yankees suffered their first home loss of the season and dropped to 4-3. Baltimore with a big win, improves to 2-5 to end their losing streak. Andrew Cashner with the win. Masahiro Tanaka gets the loss. Brad Brock with the save. Bottom of the 6th, the scoring didn't go until then, as Aaron Judge hit an opposite field home run to right center to make it 1-0 Yanks. And then top of the 7th, here come the Orioles. Adam Jones 2-run shot makes it 2-1. Anthony Santander RBI double 3-1 Orioles. In the top of the 7th, Trey Mancini RBI single that scored in 2 makes it 5-1 O's. Bottom of the 7th, Neil Walker RBI single makes it 5-2, and that was your ball game. Disappointing loss for the Yankees. Whenever a superior, one of those Super 7 lose at home to a team that's clearly inferior to them, like the Yankees did to the Orioles, and even the Nats to the Mets, it's very disappointing. But in the Nats' defense, the Mets are an okay team, but the Nationals are clearly better than them. The Diamondbacks defeated the Cardinals 3-1 as they improve to 6-1. St. Louis drops to 3-4. Robbie Ray with the win. Adam Wainwright with the loss. Brad Boxberger with the save. Top of the 2nd, Diamondbacks. Robbie Ray sacrifice fly 1-0. Top of the 2nd, RBI single David Peralta 2-0 Diamondbacks. Top of the 4th, RBI double David Peralta 3-0 Diamondbacks. Bottom of the 4th, RBI double Yadier Molina 3-1, and that's all the scoring. Robbie Ray, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 walks, and 9 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 5.73 ERA. Adam Wainwright, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 7.36 ERA. Wainwright will get better eventually. An impressive win for the Chicago Cubs, 8-0 over the Milwaukee Brewers as they improve to 3-3. Milwaukee drops to 4-3. John Lester with the win, Brent Sutter with the loss. And this wasn't just the loss for Milwaukee that hurts. Corey Nebel, their closers, on the disabled list, and I just got word that he's going to be out a minimum of 6 weeks with the left hamstring strain, and they plan to use closer by committee. That's a big loss for Milwaukee. Nebel's one of the more underrated closers in the game. He had a breakthrough year last year, and this is just a very big loss for them. Maybe they go out and make a trade. Their bullpen isn't terrible, but I like Nebel, and I think he's a very good closer. This game was all Cubs. Top of the 2nd, Javier Baez single, make it 2-0. It scored in 2. Fielder's choice, John Lester, that's 3-0. Top of the 3rd, RBI triple, Albert Almora Jr., 4-0 Cubs, 5-0 Cubs in the top of the 3rd on a double by Addison Russell. Top of the 8th, RBI single Chris Bryant that made it 6-0. Top of the 9th, this is an encouraging sign for the Cubs. Jason Hayward homered, a 2-run shot to make it 8-0 Cubs. Excellent game for John Lester. Bounced back from that dismal performance against the Marlins. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. His ERA drops to 2.89. Meanwhile, for Milwaukee, Brent Sutter went 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 6.3 ERA. We have 2 games underway right now. Royals-Indians, as the Royals are up 2-0 on Cleveland. And Braves-Rockies is in a rain delay. The rest is the slate for tonight. Orioles at the Yankees, as the Yankees look to bounce back from the disappointing loss last night. CC Sabathia against Kevin Gausman. Gausman's 0-1 with a 13.5 ERA, 5 strikeouts with a whip of 2.25. Sabathia, no decision, 1.8 ERA, 4 strikeouts with a whip of 1.4. Reds at the Pirates, as the Reds look to even this up at a game apiece. Luis Castillo trying to bounce back from his opening day start. He's 0-1 with a 10.8 ERA with 6 strikeouts with a 1.4 whip. Again, Trevor Williams, who will be awfully difficult to repeat that first game he had. Although the Tigers are terrible, so are the Reds, so I wouldn't be surprised if he had another fine game. 1-0 with a 0 ERA with the strikeout with a .83 whip. The Blue Jays at the Rangers from Arlington. Marco Estrada against Matt Moore. Estrada had a no decision in his first game with a 3.86 ERA, 2 strikeouts and a whip of 1. Moore 0-1 with a 9 ERA, 6 strikeouts with a whip of 1.75. The Cubs at the Brewers, as the Brewers like to rebound from that terrible loss and the Nebel injury. Brandon Woodruff's going for them, who had a no decision in his first start with a 5.4 ERA, 3 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.8. Kyle Hendricks, winless, or he had a no decision, I should say, 1.5 ERA, 5 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.17, going for Chicago. You have the Padres at the Astros. I would be shocked if San Diego were to pick off Houston in one of these games. For the Padres, Luis Perdomo, 0-1 with an 11.25 ERA, 7 strikeouts with a whip of 2.75. Lance McCullers Jr., 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA, 10 strikeouts with a whip of .94. The Athletics at the Angels. Shohei Ohtani is going to be DHing in this game. You have Daniel Gassett going for Oakland, winless with a 9 ERA with no strikeouts and a whip of 2, against Parker Bridwell of the Angels, who's making his first start of the season. And a postponed game between the Dodgers and the Giants. Now I'm going to get to the NBA. A couple notable results from last night that I want to get to, and then go over some of today's results. You had the Warriors at the Pacers from last night. The Pacers got the impressive 20-point win over the Warriors, 126-106. Indiana's 47-32. Golden State drops to 57-22. Bojan Bogdanovic had 28 in the win. Victor Oladipo had 21 in the win as well. Golden State, though, Durant had a fine game. Not from a shooting perspective, field goal perspective, 8 of 23, but he had 27 points and 7 assists in defeat. The Cavaliers beat the Wizards 119-115. Big win for Cleveland. I had them on the podcast since it was a TNT game. 49-30. Washington drops to 42-37. LeBron's continuing his torrid pace. He has to be, if not tied with Harden, but the favorite for MVP. I think he should be the MVP favorite. I mean, Harden's had a tremendous year. I'll get into more of this on a later podcast day. But LeBron's just been tremendous. 33 points and 14 assists in the win. John Wall had 28 in defeat. The Cavaliers, LeBron James just has to be the MVP. All due respect to James Harden. Speaking of Harden, the Rockets beat the Blazers 96-94 as they improve to 64-15. Portland drops to 48-31. Chris Paul had 27 in the win. James Harden had 24. C.J. McCollum had 16 in defeat. The Nets defeated the Bucks 119-111 as they improve to 26-53. Milwaukee drops to 42-37. Very disappointing loss for Milwaukee. Allen Crabbe had 25 in the win. Chris Middleton had 31 in defeat. The Jazz defeated the Clippers 117-95. An impressive win for Utah as they improved to 46-33. The Clippers dropped to 42-37. Donovan Mitchell had 19 in the win. Austin Rivers had 19 in defeat. Big win for the Denver Nuggets to get themselves tied with the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoff standings. Although the Timberwolves had the tiebreaker still, the Nuggets got the win 196 over these same Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler didn't play as they dropped to 44-35. Denver improves to 44-35. Jamal Murray had 22 in the win. Karl Anthony Towns had 26 points in defeat. Tonight's slate, before I go over the standings, you have the Mavs at the Pistons, the Hornets at the Magic, the Heat at the Knicks, the Cavs at the Sixers, the Hawks at the Wizards, the Bulls at the Celtics, the Pacers at the Raptors, the Kings at the Grizzlies, the Pelicans at the Suns, and the Timberwolves at the Lakers. No ESPN games. Standings. You have your Eastern Conference playoff field is set, but not the order of the seeds, but your 8 teams are set. You have Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, Philly, Indiana, Miami, Washington, and Milwaukee in. Washington and Milwaukee each have 42-37. Miami's 43-36. Washington and Milwaukee are a game back of Miami. Indiana's 47-33. They seem locked up in that 5 spot unless they win a couple in a row and Philadelphia loses a few in a row. Philadelphia's in that 4 spot. They're a half game back of Cleveland. Each have 30 losses. Cleveland has 49 wins. Philadelphia has 48 wins. So Cleveland's just played one more game than Philly. Boston, 53-25. They're basically locked in that 2 seed. Toronto's 56-22. Houston has that 1 seed and the best record in the NBA locked up at 64-15. Golden State's locked in that 2 spot with 57 and 22. Portland's not necessarily locked into the 3 spot at 48 and 31. They're 2 ahead of Utah, who's 46 and 33 in the 4 spot. A game back of Utah is San Antonio and Oklahoma City, who are each 45 and 34. San Antonio has the tiebreaker over the Thunder. 7th, you have New Orleans, who is tied in the loss column with San Antonio and Oklahoma City at 44 and 34. They're a half game back of both of those teams and a game and a half back of Utah. Minnesota and Denver are each 44 and 35, as I mentioned before, but Minnesota has the tiebreaker, and the Clippers are still mathematically alive. 2 back in Minnesota, 42 and 37. And I don't have to go over the tanking team because we all know who the tanking teams are. All right, NHL. 2 more days left of the regular season to go. We had some big results last night, some big games tonight as well. I'll pick the NBCSN game on the podcast. The Islanders defeated the Rangers 2-1. 2 bad teams. The scoring, Kevin Hayes on the power play is 25th of the year, 1-0 Rangers. In the second period, Thomas Hickey's 5th of the year, 1-1. Anthony Bolivar's 21st of the year, 2-1. That's your final. The Devils clinched their first playoff berth in 6 years with a 2-1 win over the Maple Leafs. William Nylander scored first, though, on the power play for Toronto to make it 1-0. Maple Leafs, that was Nylander's 20th of the year. Second period, Pavel Zacha's 8th of the year, tied it up at 1. And then Miles Wood's 18th of the year made the Devils a 2-1 winner and clinch a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Flyers defeated the Hurricanes 3-4, and they have yet to clinch a playoff spot, and the Panthers are still alive for the 8th spot, but we'll see. I think the Flyers eventually get it. Klaus Dahlbeck's actually scored first for Carolina to put him up 1-0. Michael Raffl ties it up at 1 apiece, his 12th of the year. Sebastian Ao's 29th of the year, 2-1 Carolina. Second period, Ivan Provorov, 16th of the year, 2-2. Third period, Claude Giroux, 31st of the year, 3-2 Flyers. Jordan Staal ties it up at his 18th of the year to make it 3-3. And in the game-winning goal, Jacob Voracek's 20th of the year, 4-3 Flyers. That's your final. As they have to either win out or the Panthers have to suffer a loss. So the only way the Panthers steal the 8th spot from the Flyers is if they win out and the Flyers lose out. The Predators clinched the President's Trophy in Washington, D.C. with a 4-3 victory over the Caps. Craig Smith scored first on the power play for Nashville. His 24th of the year makes it 1-0 Preds. Second period, Alex Ovechkin's 47th of the year on the power play, 1-1. Capitals take a 2-1 lead on a power play goal by Evgeny Kuznetsov, his 26th of the year. Craig Smith again, his 25th of the year, ties it up at 2 apiece for Nashville. Kuznetsov again, his 27th of the year, 3-2 Caps. Roman Josi ties it up on a power play goal, his 14th of the year, to make it 3-3. The game winner, Ryan Johansson's 15th of the year, 4-3. That's your final. The Penguins feed the Blue Jackets 5-4 in overtime, as Columbus clinches a playoff spot with the point. Zach Werenski got the scoring going for Columbus, his 16th of the year, 1-0 Jackets. Phil Kessel ties it up, his 32nd of the year on the power play, 1-1. Matt Calvert's 9th of the year, 2-1 Jackets. Patrick Hornqvist's 28th of the year, 2-2. Second period, Boone Jenner, 13th of the year, 3-2 Jackets on the power play. Third period on the power play, his 9th of the year, Chris Letang's 3-3. Cam Atkinson's 24th of the year gives the Jackets a 4-3 lead. Connor Sheary ties it up at 4 apiece on his 18th of the year. And in overtime, the game winner, Phil Kessel, for the win, his 33rd of the year, 5-4. Winners are the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Canadiens defeated the Red Wings 4-3 in the battle of 2 tanking teams. Nicolas Deluhier's 9th of the year, 1-0 Montreal. But also in the first inning, later on, Dylan Larkin's 15th of the year, 1-1. Second period, Tyler Bertuzzi's 7th of the year gives Detroit a 2-1 lead. Brendan Gallagher's 31st of the year, 2-2. Nicholas Delara's again, his 10th of the year, 3-2 Cabs. Third period, Naturi Latokin, 12th of the year, 4-2 Habs. Darren Helms, 13th of the year, gets the Red Wings within 1, and that was your game. The Panthers defeated the Bruins 3-2 to keep their playoff hopes alive. Alexander Barkov's 27th of the year, 1-0 Florida. Frank Vatrano, 6th of the year, 2-0 Ryan Donato, red hot Ryan Donato, I should say, on the power play, his 5th of the year to get Boston on the board. Second period, Danton Heinen, his 15th of the year, 2-2. And then in the third period, Jaron McCann, game winner, 9th of the year, 3-2. Final. The Jets feed the Flames 2-1. Blake Wheeler scored first, his 23rd of the year, 1-0 Jets. Second period, Paul Stastny, 16th of the year, 2-0 Jets. Spencer Foos, 1st of the year. Got Calgary on the board. Too little too late for the Flames. Oilers feed the Canucks. The Golden Knights, 3-4. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scored first, his 23rd of the year, 1-0 Oilers. Second period, Braden McNabb's 5th of the year ties it up at 1 for Vegas. Brandon Peary's 3rd of the year, 2-1 Vegas. Here comes Edmonton in the third. Matthew Benning, 6th of the year, ties it up at 2. Michael Camilleri on the power play, 7th of the year, 3-2 Oilers. Ty Ratty's 5th of the year, 4-2 Oilers. Oscar Lindberg's 9th of the year gets the Knights within 1. The Canucks defeated the Coyotes 4-3 in overtime in what was a storybook game for the Sedin twins as they're about to retire. It was their final home game. Christian Fischer actually scored first for the Coyotes, make it 1-0. Second period, Daniel Sedin's 22nd of the year, 1-1. Derek Stepan's 14th of the year, 2-1 Coyotes. Dylan Strom's 4th of the year, 3-1 Coyotes. Here come the Canucks. Third period, Jake Virtanen gets him within a goal to make it 3-2. Brendan Lepesic's 5th of the year, 3-3. And on the power play in overtime, Daniel Sedin, 23rd of the year, gives Vancouver the win. Henrik Sedin with the assist. That's in a very appropriate home game finish for the Sedin twins in their final home game. The Kings defeated the Wild 5-4 in overtime. Dustin Brown's 25th of the year, 1-0 Kings. Ryan Murphy ties it up at 1 apiece with his 2nd of the year. Matt Dumba's 14th of the year makes it 2-1 Wild. Kings tie it up on a Dustin Brown power play goal, his 26th of the year, 2-2. Tobias Raiders, 12th of the year, 3-2 Kings. Dustin Brown with the hat trick, his 27th of the year, 4-2 Kings. Third period, Eric Stahl's 41st of the year gets the Wild within 1. Nate Prosser ties it up with a shorthanded goal, his 3rd of the year, 4-4. In overtime, his 4th goal of the game, Dustin Brown. Dustin Brown's had an incredible season for Los Angeles. And the Sharks feed the Avalanche 4-2 as the Blues still have hope to make the playoffs as the Avalanche lose in San Jose. Justin Braun's 5th of the year in the first period makes it 1-0 Sharks. No goals in the third period. Here comes the scoring. Mikko Rantanen on the power play, his 29th of the year, ties it up for the Avs. And then here come the Sharks. Logan Couture, his 34th of the year on the power play, 2-1 Sharks. Joonas Dukonski's 14th of the year, 3-1 Sharks. Avalanche get within 1 on a goal by Blake Comeau, his 13th of the year, makes it 3-2. And then Thomas Hertl with the empty net goal, his 22nd of the year, 4-2 final. Big games tonight. We only have 4, but they're all impactful. Senators, Penguins, Sabres, Lightning, Blues, Blackhawks. And on NBCSN tonight, you have the Stars and the Ducks. Give me Anaheim at home. Dallas is eliminated. The Ducks need that game more to pass the Kings and get in that Pacific Division bracket. If you're Anaheim, would you rather play San Jose or Vegas? You can make a case Vegas because of less experience. But they have guys with experience. So they have a Stanley Cup winning goalie and Marc-Andre Fleury on their team. And then the Sharks have the experience. They were in the final 2 years ago. But Anaheim wants to even get home court or home ice. They can move up in theory as well. We'll see about that. So give me the Ducks at home to get an important win. All right. And I was just looking at the standings. I just pointed out to you in the Pacific Division that Anaheim owns one of the wild cards. Colorado has the other one. And then your top 3 in the Central's Nashville, who has clinched the President's Trophy, and then Winnipeg and Minnesota, who are locked in the 2 and 3 respectively. Vegas is locked into the 1 spot in the Pacific Division. And then you have San Jose and Los Angeles rounding out the top 3 in the Pacific. And in the Eastern Conference, Tampa and Boston tied at 110. Tampa is the tiebreaker. Toronto's locked into that 3 spot. And then Washington has that Metro Division clinched. Pittsburgh, Columbus, New Jersey, those 3 spots are up for grab. And then one of those three will be the wild card, and your other wild card, in all likelihood, will be Philadelphia. Florida's 4 points back of them. I mentioned that Florida has to win out, and Philadelphia has to lose out in order if the Panthers to make the playoffs. Quickly, Masters, as of right now, your leading guy is Patrick Reed with the -7. Second place, you have Mark Leishman with the -5, and then tied with him is Charlie Hoffman with the -5, and then tied for fourth place, you have Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth with the -4. I will update more on the Masters come Saturday. And last but not least, the Patriots made a move by signing Jordan Matthews to replace Brandon Cooks. I think that is a downgrade. There was some speculation that they were going to trade some of their picks, those 2 picks, for Odell Beckham Jr., but I think that speculation's gone. If Odell is moved, it's probably going to be to Cleveland for the 4, because I've heard that rumored, or even the Buffalo, maybe. We'll see with the Odell situation, but I think that if you had to ask me, the other day, 10 days ago, I would have said gone, traded, but with the move the Rams made to get Cooks and the Matthews signing, I'd say Odell remains a Giant, but I don't really feel good about that. That's all I have for you today. Tomorrow I'll be back with the recap for baseball, hockey, and basketball. Go over clinching scenarios for all the divisions and for playoff seedings in hockey as well as the NBA. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.